Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?
Screw your freedom.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Guess what? Yeah, their censorship has been very, very successful. They're continuing to be very, very successful. And you and I are engaged in the information war, the communications war, and the psychological war. It's all part of the Great Reset, which is indeed a war on our freedoms, liberties, our way of life. Indeed, everything, folks. It's not just the financial reset. It's not just the economic reset or the legal reset. It's the everything reset, the Great Reset. Now, right off the bat, subscribestar.com, the-prepared-mind. We're having a great response with lots of people coming on over, signing up for the premium service there. $2 a month, 7 cents a day. 7 pennies, shiny, 7 pennies dull, doesn't matter. It's only 7 cents a day to support this network, this programming, these thoughts, this analysis, these perspectives that we share, the ability, folks, to get information that is totally censored on YouTube, Google, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, it's censored, but not on the Prepared Mind at subscribestar.com and not at the preparedmind.club, where you can get the food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, tools you need for your plan. Whew. You got to pimp it, folks. If I don't, it doesn't get done. If I don't say, hit that thumbs up button. If I don't say, hit that subscribe button. If I don't say, smash that bell so you get, notifications every time something comes out, it doesn't happen, right? The commercials get played through. That tells YouTube, hey, people like what they're seeing on the Prepared Mind. I guess we're going to have to take our foot off their neck. And they are, folks, and the channel is growing again. But come to subscribestar.com to get all the news right out the gate. And Monday through Friday, we do all of the crazy stuff in a live Q&A for Subscribestar only. Now, censorship. We had the Disinformation Governance Board that was going to come out under the Department of Homeland Security. Not only was it the Truth Ministry or the Ministry of Truth that was going to be telling us, you and me, how to think and what to believe and what we can and can't say. Not only were they pushing that, right, but they brought out one of the most radical, anti-free speech, pro-liars. And she was a liar, Nina Yankowicz. And then she stepped down and they got rid of it. Well, guess what? The Ministry of Truth 2.0 has come up. They can't afford to let that idea go, folks, the same way we can't afford to give in to them. Kamala Harris is going to lead a new task force because they're afraid of these things, folks. Online harassment, abuse, and disinformation campaigns. All of Nina Yankowicz's beliefs, folks, were false. The things she shared were false. Unbelievable. Now, here's the quote on this new, Ministry of Truth. President Biden will sign a presidential memorandum establishing the White House task force to address online harassment and abuse, responding to the need for government leadership to address online harms, which disproportionately affect women, girls, people of color, and LGBTQI plus individuals. Isn't it the government and all of these people that are pushing trans into women's sports? Aren't the women and girls very unhappy with that? No, see, that's You got to remember, it's not what they say that matters. It's the idea that they're using that as the excuse for creating a task force and a ministry of truth. They have to find, they're going to go hunt and go, oh, yeah, the abuse is terrible. It's disproportionately affecting groups that are protected, right? But what about boomers who are ridiculed by college girls, trans, and low T males on the street, getting threatened, getting attacked? What about normal Americans being disproportionately removed from social media for sharing their opinion or thinking differently than what these people want us to think? Oh, you're going to love the rest of this video, folks. You're going to love it. What about taxpayers who are attacked and censored by opponents who favor total wealth confiscation? Folks, I think I'm in the poor class. And the amount of tax I pay is disgusting. Middle class, disgusting, right? They want total wealth confiscation, and not for the super rich, just for us people who want to be in the middle class, right? This is yet another sick, twisted, bizarro world move. The Ministry of Truth 2.0. Hey, let's go, Brandon, right? Folks, quick message. Go to thepreparedmind.club and get your freedom seeds before they get even more expensive, because it's coming. It truly is coming. Now, who is being ridiculed? Who is being hurt, right? Representative Republican, dude's name is Loudermilk. He released the audio of numerous death threats coming from left-wing, radical, violent scum, the same type of scum who burned, looted, and murdered over $4 billion worth in 2020. That's who got hold of this guy, right? Biden protects, Biden coddles threats from pro-choicers, LGBTers, antifites, that's the Antifa people, antifites, and never Trumpers, right? He protects, right, the never Trumpers. He protects the antifites. It's just an idea, right? Anyone who objects to the destruction of America is allowed to be threatened. Anyone who has traditional ideas is allowed to be threatened. Anyone who loves our country, our flag, our Constitution is allowed to be threatened and even hurt. And riots can be started and allowed to go on and on and on. But Liz Cheney, oh, no. She can allow this type of abuse. She can allow this disproportionate attack on anyone who disagrees with her. There is no equality of proportion, folks. There are not right-wing, freedom-loving people out there shooting up malls and churches and stores and schools. No, it's not happening. It's nil. While the left, their violence continues to increase. So who's being coddled? Who's being threatened? Loudermilk. Here's the quote. This is the big one. I want to see a shank in your throat. That is permissible. That's permissible, folks. I don't know why it's permissible, but it is. Unbelievable, right? Just absolutely unbelievable. Now, this battle for free speech. The fight over free speech, folks, is happening in central control of internet censorship headquarters, right? You've got Google, Twitter, YouTube, the big boys, right? Right now, there's a battle on the inside. Whether or not you like Elon Musk, whether or not you agree with his economics, his principle stands on free speech and Second Amendment, whether or not you think he's far enough to the right, he's engaged in the fight, right? During his conference call between himself and the Twitter employees, right, Elon Musk reiterated his position as a free speech absolutist, adding people can say anything outrageous they want as long as it's not illegal. Once again, we need to be careful what is allowed to be called illegal or hate or whatever. What they call hate speech isn't hate speech. And I don't think hate speech should be illegal, right? The left wing, they threaten everyone all the time with violence. Like, I want to see a shank in your throat. That's acceptable. But I can't make fun of some little LGBTer. Right now, he said people should be able to say, quote, pretty outrageous things. I agree, right? However, the Twitless employees were super triggered because Musk also uttered the words, quote, all lives matter. And someone responded in a little text, and these screenshots are out there being leaked, folks. Right? Quote, he literally just said all lives mattered. Right? And someone else commented, yikes. Right? Heads exploding like the bad guys at the end of the movie, right? Kingsman. Just now understand this, folks. Several hundred, that's it, several hundred people, as little as a few dozen extremist communists are controlling the entire Twitter universe and what is allowed to be said. They just sit down with their group of 10, 20, 50 people and go, this is what we're going to say, and this is what we're not going to say or allow anyone else to say. Go do it. You've got a handful of extreme anti-American radical socialists doing all of this to the entire planet, right? This rule that Twitter is using, right, that a few people make decisions and it goes out to the minions, the same rule applies with YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, etc., right? The free speech of our nation, folks, and the world is being directed by 20-something and 30-something anti-freedom punks who think they're doing good. And this is being encouraged and allowed by regulators in Washington, D.C. It's being allowed and encouraged, folks. But in Twitter, Musk is there right now, and he is making them lose their minds. He's politely using words and phrases that we use on a daily basis. But the thought police cannot tolerate to stand it. They can't hear it. No, not those words, right? Now, the commies, folks, are now proud to be commies. They're not hiding it. They're proud to silence us, and they're letting us know. They're proud to destroy the concept of free speech as a fundamental right of all human beings because they want to control us. They're not protecting anyone. They're controlling us. The ministry of truth is about control, not protection of any particular group or subgroup or small group or overly sensitive group or snowflake group. No, right? They protect their right to say what they want to say, and then they condemn us. That's the power they have, folks. They're proud to do this, right? And DC, the politicians and bureaucrats in Washington, DC are allowing this, promoting this, and rewarding the commie tech mentality because it further empowers the DC power structure and silences dissenting voices who don't like the LGBTs, who don't like critical race theory, who don't like Biden and what he's doing to our energy, economy, food systems. They want to silence us. So in this instance, I'm saying, go Elon, go. This inside mentality of Twitter, it needs exposure and reversal now, right? You and I know what's going on in there, but 90% or more of America has no clue what these young 20-something, 30-something-year-old punks are doing as they bring their Marxist ideas from college right into controlling how the world now speaks. How would you like to be on the phone in 1970? You're on your AT&T line and you're talking to your cousin and you're going, this Nixon guy is kind of a scumbag. What are we going to do about this? And someone comes on the line and they're like, you're not allowed to say that. You'd be like, hey, tell me what I can say, right? Who's tapping this phone? Who's listening? It wouldn't be allowed. But that's exactly what Twitter does. They interrupt the phone call and say, that's not allowed. That's what YouTube does. They interrupt the thought stream and say, you can't think that. And no one else will hear you and think that as well. No one's allowed to even consider the idea for merit, accuracy, or anything else. That's what they're doing, folks. They're interrupting our conversations, right? So go, Elon, go. Strike at their hearts and blow their pea-brained ideas. Their ideas, blow them to pieces. Now, calling himself a moderate to these whack jobs is to them a giant insult and threat. It's a threat to them because they think they're moderating as moderators, that they're moderate, They know they're all for no speech and they're all for controlled speech. They consider that a good thing. So Elon Musk, who says absolute free speech, and you can say outrageous things, to them is a huge threat. Imagine if Twitter becomes free. Now, I don't use Twitter the way everyone else does, right? I don't try and communicate on Twitter. I do it with you guys here so you can see my face, hear my words, and we get it on intellectually talking about stuff, right? But imagine if Twitter, used by millions of people, and 20% of them are AI bots, robots. And how many of them are not robots, but real humans who are being paid by the government to be there to troll others? Oh yeah, it's a problem, folks. It's a problem. Share this video, share that internet address right up there. Share that address with others so they can hear this, so they can know what's going on. If the world starts speaking freely on Twitter, well, Instagram is going to have to lighten up. YouTube will have to lighten up in order to compete with other free speech. See, as they all ratchet it down, they're like, yeah, we're all controlling. Well, who let the dogs out, right? If the dogs are released on Twitter, it's going to cause a reversal by other companies because they're going to lose market share. And market share is advertising revenue. And revenue, even though they hate money, they need it and they know it. And they're going to start being held accountable, right? Financially. Their fiduciary responsibility is to shareholders, not their radical leftist scumbag communist ideology. Well, I guess we really went off on this topic. There's a whole lot more. Again, Subscribestar right there. Subscribestar, The Prepared Mind. If you're not here on Subscribestar and you're watching this on YouTube, go to Subscribestar, type in The Prepared Mind, sign up. Give yourself a screen name. Now you've got a Subscribestar account. It's simple. And then you can go on and you can join us. Hey, I'll see you tonight on Subscribestar for the Free for All Friday. And then Sunday, we'll be back with Sunday Night Live. Freedom, folks, the Constitution. Law and order, justice, the American way. Right? Godspeed. God bless America. And chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Share these videos.
Because this MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that's existed in American history.